What I want you to do essentially is to start off in child's pose. So if anyone has just joined us, if you could mute yourself, that would be really helpful. So we're going to start off in child's pose, and you can bring the legs apart or bring the knees together, whatever suits you. And just slowly come into your breath for a few moments. And I want you to feel that breath through the ribs and through the back of the body and into the pelvis as well. So really feel that strength and stability in the back as well. You can be mindful with the breath. You can take it in for a count of 4 or 5. Or you can just breathe in and out. So just do what you need to do. Just notice how you're feeling today. Just being aware of your body and accepting it. See if you can find that space for the inhale. And I want you to, on the next inhale, slowly walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. So feel the breath in that left side body. If you want to go deeper, you can draw that left glute down towards the heel. So just maximize that stretch if you wish. And what I want you to do next is lift your chest up. So you're still in your sort of side child's pose. And I want you to lift the hips up and then tuck the toes under and lift your bum up towards the sky. So you're coming into sort of like a weird downward facing dog. And what I want you to do from here is to inhale as you lift that left leg in the air. I want you to stack the left hip over the right. And you can take the gaze under the left armpit. If you want to go deeper, have a go at wild things. So just drop that left foot behind you on the mat and inhale as you shoot the heart up towards the sky. And with your wild thing, remember what we've been focusing on lately, opening the heart, bringing space into the ribs. So we're not just pinching at the lower back. So really feel that space. Lift, lift, up, up. And I want you to exhale as you slowly bring that left hand to the mat. Keep that right leg, left leg, bring it up. And then I want you to sweep that left leg under the right. So you're coming into sort of like a weird plank position. And just hold it here. So breathe into the core as well. And then as you exhale, slowly start bringing your bum to the mat. And I want you to press that left foot on the inside of the right thigh. So check that you're nicely grounded before you begin this next movement. You're going to bring the hands either side of that right leg. We're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen. So remember, take your time to set up that pose. So inhale, feel the length. And as you exhale, hinge forward from the hips over that right leg. And keep that right foot nice and active. Bring a little micro bend into the knee if you need. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale to reach. If you can get the hands to the foot, that's fine, but don't force it. Don't sacrifice the pose for the ego. This should feel nice. It should feel strong. It should feel deep. Take one more inhale. And exhale. And let's slowly come up on the next inhale. Just take a couple of moments here. Just see how the body's feeling. And I want you to bring that left knee and bring it up. And just bring a little gap between the left foot and the right thigh. We're going to do a twist over to the left. So bring that left hand up and bring it behind your body. Inhale as we lift and lengthen through the right. So feel that length. Bend that right elbow. Bring it to the outside of the left knee as we inhale and twist over to the left. Remember to try and keep the back nice and neutral. And as you inhale, lift and lengthen through the upper body. If you find any more space, then go with it and listen to your body. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale to release. And just take a little counter twist over to the right. And when you're ready, you're going to come back into our side child's pose, stretching to the right. So just take a couple more breaths out. And when you're ready, inhale yourself back to center. So just take a few moments, see how you're feeling. And I want you to slowly walk the hands over to the left this time. So just work with the breath and breathe into that right side body. And again, you can draw that right buttock towards the feet if you want to deepen that stretch. And when you're ready, I want you to lift the upper body off the mat, come onto the knees, and slowly lift the hips up as we come into a sort of a weird down dog towards the left this time. So just be aware of the body here. And we're going to inhale as we lift that right leg in the this time. And we're going to stack the right hip over the left, take the gaze under the right armpit. And we're going to slowly release that right foot to the mat. We're going to come into our wild thing on the other side. So remember the left hand is on the mat now. Reach that heart forward, so nice and big. And slowly exhale as we bring that right hand to the mat. Keep that right leg lifted. Sweep it under the body like so. So we've got that right leg through. Now we're just going to lift up here. Just open up the body here. And when you're ready, slowly bring the bum to the mat. And we're going to press that right foot on the inside of the left thigh this time. So take a few moments to check you're nicely grounded in the hips and the pelvis. Obviously, naturally, there will be a little rock in that pelvis, so just go with it. And we're going to flex that left foot, keep that left leg nice and active. Bring that micro bend in the knee if you need to, that's fine. Inhale as you lift and lengthen, and exhale as we hinge forward over that left leg this time. So just be mindful of any differences here. You can take hold of the foot if it's available. But inhale, lift and lengthen. You can use that inhale to find that space. Breathe into the ribs. Breathe into the back. the right foot and the left thigh. We'll take the right hand behind us this time. So keep the back nice and neutral. Try not to lean back. We're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen that left arm in the air. We're going to twist over to the right. Take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Try not to force that twist, but you can encourage it a little bit. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to twist. So one more inhale. Exhale. And slowly unwind on the next inhale. And let's take a little counter twist over to the left. Nice. And when you're ready, bring yourself back into your child's pose over to the left. So just take a couple of breaths here. And then let's slowly come back to center. So just take your time here. Notice how you're feeling. And slowly, on the next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves up to our tabletop position. So just make your adjustments, hands nice and spread out, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. So we're going to take our cat-cow breath. So as you inhale, tilt the pelvis towards the mat, draw the belly down, and bring the shoulder blades in towards each other. And take the gaze up. Exhale, let's reverse that motion. So take your time. Just do any other little movements that you might need. You can have a little go at doing some on the fingertips. And then you can turn the hands so the fingers are pointing towards the body. Just to explore different movements. And we're going to take a couple more and come back to your neutral spot. And when you're ready, I want you to lift your body up and just come onto the knees. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked, this entirely up to you. I'm just going to work into the abs for a few moments. So bring the arms out straight in front of you and just slowly lean back. Start engaging the core. Maybe tap it if that helps you. And just hold it here. And gently come forward. Release the hands to the mat. Lift the hips up. Come into your downward facing dog. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees again. Bring them all the way to the mat. Lift yourself up, straighten the arms out in front of you, and lean back into working the abs again. So this is just a cycle that we're going to do a few more times. Bring it forward, release the hands to the mat, lift the hips up, a couple of breaths in downward facing dog. And slowly release the knees, lift the hands off the mat, and lean back. Hold it here, breathe into the core, release the hands, come back into your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in and release the knees, and let's lean it back. Okay, so we're just going to lean it back from here and just reach forward, lean it back and reach forward. And just take 2 more. Don't forget to breathe. And release. Bring your hands to the mat, and I want you to make your way into plank pose. So from plank, we're going to stick with the abs for a few more moments, and I want us to do our mountain climbers. So most of you will know what those are, but essentially, we're going to bring the right knee in, tap the foot, and release. Left knee in, tap the foot, and release. Try to keep that plank shape, and we're going to do 10 on each side. So just check that you're not lifting up your bum too much. I've completely lost count, but I think I've got about 5 to go. And when you've done your 10 on each side, take a couple of breaths in your plank pose and slowly drop the knees and come back into child's pose. So we're going to take a few more breaths here. We're going to stick with plank for just a little bit longer. And we're going to have a little play around with side planks and working the abs. So just take a few more breaths in child's pose. And when you're ready, let's all come back into plank pose. And we're going to start by lifting that left hand off the mat, coming into side plank. You can stay here, or you can bring left knee to left elbow and release. And just take 5 all together. And hold it here, hold your plank for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Bring the hand to the mat. And let's go straight over to the other side. So right hand goes off. Option to bring right knee to right elbow. So we're just going to do 5 on each side. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Come back to plank pose. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. Remember to keep it nice and strong. Drop the knees if you need to. And slowly drop the knees and come into child's pose. So we are going to do one more plank exercise, working into the abs. So just take a few more breaths in child's pose. So it's important to make sure that you do take those little breaks in between each step. Just breathe in, breathe out. When you're ready, I want you to come back into plank pose. And then from here, we're going to lift that left hand off again, coming into side plank. You can stay here, or you can dip the right hip towards the mat. So you're strongly working into the oblique. And let's keep dipping for 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring that left hand down Straight away, bring that right hand off the mat. And we're going to do the same on the other side. We're just dipping that left hip. Let's just do 3 more. And bring that right hand down to the mat. Stay in plank for a couple more breaths. Drop the knees. Come back into your child's pose. You can bring the arms behind you. It's entirely up to you. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work into forearm plank. So this is going to be quite strong on the upper arms as well. Now you can do forearm plank with the hands roughly shoulder distance apart and keeping them separate, or you can clasp the fists like so, making your triangle shape. So it's your choice. So let's take a couple more breaths and meet in your version of forearm plank. So remember, you can drop the knees if you want to, and just check your alignment here in forearm plank. I have a tendency to lift my bum up, so I'm just checking myself here. And we're going to hold it. So this is really good for the core as well. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Let's do 5 more big breaths here. And when you've done your 5, slowly and safely come back into your child's pose. So you're doing really well, guys. We're going to do 1 more plank exercise. So this next exercise is also going to be in forearm plank, but this time I want you to keep the triangle with the hand. So you're going to be clasping the fists together in front of you. And we're going to be rocking out to the left and the right, working into the obliques. So let's come back. Bring yourself into your forearm plank. So just take on opposite elbows, bring the hands in front of you, and gently clasp the fists. Come out into your plank, and we're going to rock it to the right and to the left. So just work through 10 on each side. Remember, you can stop this at any point. If you've got a safe version of this, or a safer version or a different version, then feel free to do it. And when you've done your 10 on each side, if that's what you're going for, come back, hold plank for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And slowly come back into child pose. I'm just going to bring my hands behind me. So hopefully we're all feeling nice and hot now. And when you're ready, just take a couple more breaths here. And we're going to slowly come into our tabletop position. So just take a few moments, find yourself here, tuck the toes under, take a deep breath in, and release. Just breathe in through the nose, sigh it out. Take two more. Just tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, coming into your downward facing dog. So pedal the feet, bend the knees, whatever you need. Remember to externally rotate the upper arm so there's a bit of space between the shoulders. Breathe into the back of the body as well. So we're not just sinking that chest down. We're going to inhale to lift the heels, exhale to lower. Take two more with your own breath. We're going to take 3 lined breaths here. You can stay here. If you want to go deeper, you can slowly hover the elbows, working into the triceps. But try to keep that nice downward dog shape. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, gaze between the hands. Slowly walk or step feet to hands. We're going to inhale for our halfway lift and exhale to fold. And I want you to slowly bring the feet far apart and just come into your ragdoll for a few moments. Just rock it out here. Do what you need. You can swing it out, shake the head, nod the head. And then bring the hands wherever they meet. And I want you to inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale to lower. And just flow through a few of these. And just hang here for a few moments. And when you're ready, let's all slowly start coming up. Remember to keep that little bend in the knees or as much as you need. If you have any issues with your back or your hips or the hamstrings, come all the way up. You take the hands up overhead. Come onto the tiptoes, nice big stretch. And release and slowly come back. You're just going to bring yourself into your mountain pose. Take a few shoulder rolls in both directions. And from here, you can keep the feet a little bit apart if you want to. Lift the toes up as you spread them out onto the mat. And just have a little bit more of the weight shifted towards the heels. Arms by the side, shoulders away from the ears. And just take that gaze softly ahead of you. Coming to the Ujjayi breath, it's there. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into plank pose. Let's just hold it for a couple of breaths. Draw the heels away, nice and strong in the core. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, bend the elbows and gently come up into your upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. You want to go deeper, you can hover the elbows, work into the triceps. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, gaze between the hands, step or walk, feet to hands. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold. Stay in your fold for a couple more breaths. Let's inhale to rise, gaze up. Exhale to release. A few moments here. And we're going to run through a different sequence today, so hopefully it will make sense. Just exploring the body, and trying different movements. And don't worry if you don't get it exactly the way I'm teaching it. Just have your own little stamp on it, that's fine. We're going to come into chair pose. So you can bring the feet a little bit further apart if you need to. We're going to inhale as we dip and sweep. But remember, nice and strong in the core, strong in the quads. Press the feet into the mat. You can come onto the balls of the feet if you want to. You can take hold of opposite elbows. Pull up through the triceps. Take it a little deeper if that's available. Imagine you're sitting down in an imaginary chair. Breathe in, breathe out. Take one more inhale. Exhale, just drop the heels if they're lifted. Breathe in. Exhale to fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, let's step it back into plank pose. So just check your alignment here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend those elbows, work the triceps. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air. Exhale as you bend the right knee, bring it to the outside of the right hand. You can stay on the ball of that right foot. Inhale as we twist and lift that right arm over to the right. You can drop that back knee if you want. It's your practice. Strong left shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bring that right hand back to the mat. Now you can come into lizard pose, your version, or you can have a little go at opening up the hips and the shoulders a bit further. So what you can do is try to see if you can bring that right shoulder under that right leg a little bit. Shuffle that right foot in slightly and just have a little rock back and forth on the ball of that left foot. So just take a few more breaths, whatever pose you're in here. And when you're ready, let's all slowly come to flat hands. We're going to shoot that right leg in the air for our three-legged dog. You've got the option of stacking the hips and dropping it back into wild thing here. You can stay in down dog, you can come into child pose. Come back into a three-legged dog if you want to, and you can go through a three-legged vinyasa. So come to three-legged plank, and the elbows, open the heart, downward facing dog. So we're all going to meet in down dog. Let's take 3 lion breaths there. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hands. We're going to inhale for our halfway lift. We're going to exhale to fold. Stay in your fold for a little bit longer. And as you inhale, I want you to bend the knees and sweep up into your Utkatasana, chair pose. Remember, you can come onto the balls of the feet. You can take hold of opposite elbows. It's your choice. Try to keep the knees in line if that's how your body works. Go a little deeper. Breathe in. Breathe out. And slowly drop the heels onto the mat. And we're going to inhale to rise. Lift the arms up. Come into a little back bend if you want to. And slowly release. Come back into Tadasana. So take a few breaths here. You're doing really well, guys. So we're going to do the other side, so you kind of know what to expect. There is one bit I left out, but we'll add that on later, so don't worry. You've got about 7 or 8 minutes to go. So just come back into your safe position. We're going to come into Utkatasana, chair pose again. So you can bring the feet out wide, it's entirely up to you. Spread the toes out nice and strong. Inhale, dip and sweep. Keep the knees in line if that's available to you. Go a little deeper, come onto the balls if you want to. Nice and strong in the back. Zip up through the midline. You can still grip the fingers like I'm doing. You can bring something into it. Go a little deeper if that's available. Take one more inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, feel halfway lift. Exhale, let's step it back into plank pose. Draw the heels away, nice and strong in the core. Take a deep inhale. Let's lower it down. So elbows are in towards the body. Chest comes towards the mat. Inhale as you open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's inhale that left leg in the air this time. Spread that foot out nice and big. Bend the knee, bring the left foot beside the left hand. You can stay on the ball of that left foot. Keep that right knee lifted if you want as we twist over to the left. Remember to nice and strong in that shoulder on the right side, not sinking into it. Keep that lift nice and strong. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release that left hand to the mat. You've got a choice. You can drop that knee at any point. You can have a little go at opening up the hips. Shuffle the left foot in slightly. You can bring the left shoulder under the left foot. You can rock back and forth with that right ball of the right foot. Just do what you want to do here. You can come into a normal lizard pose. Just take a few more moments. And let's all meet in flat hands. And we're going to shoot that left leg in the air. Option to come into wild thing. It's your choice. And you've got the option of coming back through three-legged dog and running through three-legged plank. Or three-legged vinyasa. So we're all going to meet in down dog. Let's take 3 line breaths here. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, take the gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hands. Inhale, feel halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stay in your fold a little bit longer. Remember, you can bend the knees at any point. Look after your body, you don't hurt yourself. Breathe in, breathe out. And let's inhale as we come all the way up. Option to back bend, it's your choice. And release. Let's take a few moments here. Just breathe in, breathe out. We're coming towards the end of the practice now. We've got about 5 minutes to go, I reckon. So just bring the feet mat distance apart. And I want you to inhale as you fan the arms up. Take the gaze up. Pistol grip the fingers towards the sky. Feel that length in the upper body. And I want you to come onto the left ball of the foot and just slowly stretch over to the right. And inhale as you come up and take it to the other side, so coming onto the ball of the right foot, stretching into that right side body now. And come back to center. I'm going to release the hands. Let's bring them to the waist. We're going to heel toe the feet together. And this time I want you to bring that left leg out wide. We're going to go into goddess pose, sink into the hips. Bring the arms on either side of the so. Lift up and over to the left. So just take a few more. Remember to keep breathing during your practice. Any point you want to come out of poses, it's your choice. Don't hurt yourself. So let's just do 2 more on each side. Come back to center, release the arms, and I want you to start sinking into that right knee, coming into a side lunge. You can drop the hands at any point. So working into that left leg. And let's come all the way back up into goddess pose. Let's take it over to the left. Remember, support yourself as much as you need. Come back to goddess pose. And lift all the way up. And come back to the top of the mat. Shake it all out. You've got about 3 minutes to go, so we're good for time. Bring the feet, hip distance, mat distance apart again. Bring the hands to heart center. Slowly start coming into your yogi squat. A little bit slower than I just did. You can stay here, or release the hands. Come into your crow pose. Remember with crow pose, have a little play around with the distance between the back of the hand and your feet. Okay, we're all different sizes and different shapes, so I'm not going to dictate it so much. But lift up the hips, the bum towards the sky. Come onto the balls of the feet as you slot the knees towards the upper arms. So the triceps essentially towards the armpits. And then just have a little go at shifting the weight forward. If you find that you're able to lift one or both feet, point the toes, help you get that lift, take the gaze ahead of you. Nice and strong. Breathe in, breathe out. When you've had enough, slowly release. Let's come back to the mat. We're going to come into one final pose before we come into Shavasana. And that's going to be our butterfly fold. So you can bring the feet together, open them out like a book. A couple of hands distance between the groin and the heels if you want. And just use the hands to like fan out the legs a little bit more. Lift and lengthen. And exhale as we reach forward. Neutral spine. And release. Take a couple more breaths. And then slowly come up on the inhale. Wait to draw the knees in towards each other and come into your final Shavasana. But take your time, come onto the forearm, breathe into the upper body. So we're spreading out the ribs and slowly come into the mat. So it's about 45 now. So we've only really got Shavasana left and just slowly coming back up. Right, I'm going to shut up now. And when you're ready, we're going to start deepening the breath. Let's slowly start wiggling the fingers and the toes. So just start bringing a bit of life back into the body. Just rotate the ankles and the wrists in both directions. Just bring the legs a little bit closer together. Just have a nice big stretch. Bring each knee into the chest and just give yourself a nice little hug and a gentle rock. Slowly roll over onto one side. Just support yourself with your arm. And in your own time, we're going to come up to our comfortable cross-legged position, keeping the eyes closed and the face soft. You can bring the hands to heart center if you wish. And we're going to end today's practice with our 3 clearing breaths. You can slowly bring the thumbs up to the third eye if you wish. And I want to thank you all for joining me for this practice. And I really want to thank you for trying out new things and being creative with me on this journey over the last few months. The inner light in me will always honor the inner light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for today's practice. Okay, my lovelies. I hope that was okay.
Thanks.
Good. Brilliant. Thanks, everyone.
Got good.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.